Pick up your pencil. Well, I want you to watch me first. No, let's go ahead and you write yours in colored pencil with me, and then you can watch. So our next letter that we're going to do is the O, and this is really basic. It doesn't change much. You just need to remember that it needs to start at 2 and make your circle around the clock face. If you have a habit of making it off that baseline like I just did, you're going to have to work hard to get your cursive to go the way it needs to go. But it is worth all the work you might do. Okay? Make a capital. It's just like the lowercase, only bigger. Okay. Watch me make the capital on top of the lowercase. You start at 2. This is the cursive. You start at 2. You make it just like you would normally make it. When you get back up to the 2, you go past it and make a loop. So it has a loop on the top. It's a little big on that one. It can be a little smaller. Okay, go ahead and make yours. Now put your pencil down and watch me make it on here. I'm going to start at 2, make my circle, and when I get up kind of right about at the top, put my loop on. Go ahead and make one. And make another one. And make another one. Okay, take your blue pencil or your circling pencil and circle the one you think is your best. Now let's talk just a minute about it. Your O stops up here high with that little bit of a loop. So when you get ready to start the next letter in the word that you're going to write with a capital letter, you're going to pick up your pencil and go to do that next letter. You don't usually come off of that O. You want it to stay up there high. Our next letter is P. Skip a line and make a, whoops, let me get my color. Make the letter P, lowercase. Now make the capital P in manuscript. There we are. This one doesn't change much either. We will start tall. Put your pencil down and watch me. We will start tall, pull it straight down, push back up, and make in the top half of the line space, we'll make that circle. So it looks pretty much like our P does in print. It pretty much looks like that. Sometimes people will start with a little bit of an upswing here, just kind of make it a little fancy, or do some other things to it. But basic, you start tall, pull it down, push up, and make the P. Make another one. Try another one. Now, remember we talked about our slant. If I'm writing pretty much straight up and down with my lines of symmetry and all, then this would be straight. If I'm writing with a little bit of slant, then this would slant. Okay, take your colored pencil and we're going to make Q. Now, Q changes. We're going to make the lowercase q. Okay, and then we're going to make the capital Q, which is a circle with a line that comes out of it like that. And usually that goes just a little below the baseline. Put your pencils down and watch me make the capital. Now the capital is going to start right about there, just like we've done for other ones that start tall, that have some kind of a starting line like the L did, and also our M and our N with the bumps. So we're going to start right about there. We're going to come and we're going to curve all the way down to the baseline. And when we do, we're going to make a loop and come back off of it like that. And yes, it does look like a type of a number 2. But you need to keep that loop in there. And then when you come off, you can go right into the next letter. Okay, pick up your pencil and make one. Okay, let's make it on top of our capital printed Q. Some people will put curly cues here or loop here. You can do that if you want to, but you don't need to. We're just doing it as straightforward and basic as we need to. And there it is again. And of course, it does look a lot like a number 2, but when you put it with all your other letters and you're writing your sentence or you're writing words, it's not going to look like a 2. It will look just what it is, the cursive Q. Let's take the word go. It's going to be in our sentence today, and I'm going to write it. And we're going to have the word, let's see, went is going to also be in our sentence. So we're going to write it. And then we will have a capital I in one of the sentences that we do, and we will have a capital D in one of the sentences we do. So we're going to review those. Remember, G at the start of the word go starts at 2 on the clock. So we don't have to do that upswing. We can just start at the 2 and write in cursive. So write your cursive right over it. Just practice went with an upswing, curve, curve, dip to the E, upswing, bump to the N, upswing, make the T. And I didn't get clear down to the baseline there. Okay, now that's going to be a word we're going to use, and I wanted you to make sure you had it spelled correctly and watched for those, the dip and the bump. Okay, now the capital I, remember, watch me. Make it like that. So make your capital I. Okay, and if you need more time than I'm giving you at any point, you pause the video. Okay, we're going to make the D. Remember, it starts tall. We pull down. We make a little loop. Now we make a big fat, I was going to say a big fat belly on it. Anyway, and then we make a loop on the top. And there's our D. All right, pick up your pencil. Our sentence is going to be a question. Did you go to the Pacific Ocean? Now, what I'm going to have you do today on this one, I'm going to have us print the entire sentence. Then we're going to come back and do word by word the cursive as we go through it. So don't get ahead of me, but just print. And I want you to print the capital D. Did, D-I-D-U, Y-O-U, leave some space, go, G-O, space, T-O for 2. Did you go to the, T-H-E, and our country is bordered by 2 oceans, the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. So Pacific, it's a proper noun, name of a place. So we're going to capitalize with a P, and then we spell it A-C-I-F-I-C, Pacific. Go to the next line and write your capital O for ocean, and the O-C, the C-E says sh in this word. It's a very unusual spelling of it. O-sh, and then an. So that C-E is an uncommon phonogram. And this is a question, so what's at the end? Good, a question mark. All right. Now, what I would like to do is talk you and have you talk with me as we make it. And so I'm going to talk a little softer, kind of slowly, and do my thinking out loud. And I want you to talk with me as you do the thinking with me out loud. Okay, so we're going to start tall, pull down, loop, make a curve, and loop for capital D. Now go to the baseline, upswing, make an I, upswing, curve to 2, make your D. Make your upswing, dot the I. Now, U, upswing, make a Y, make that tail go below the baseline, upswing curve to 2. Make your O. Dip, make your U, and leave a little upswing. Now we've got go. We don't need to start with an upswing. Start at 2. Make a G. Come on back and cross that baseline. Upswing curve to the 2. Make an O and dip. Tall upswing. Make a T. Upswing curve to 2. Make an O. Dip. Come back and cross your T. Upswing, make a T. Upswing, hook back and make an H. Upswing, make the E. Come back and cross the T. Now remember, the P is made much like our printed one is. So start tall, push back up and make the P. This fat part there, it should be the top half. Now, this is an A. You can either come off the baseline or start at 2. Make an A, upswing curve 2. Make the C, upswing, make I, upswing, make your F, pinch it back at the baseline, keep that tail below. Upswing, make an I. Upswing 2, make a C. And now we have to dot 2 I's, so go to the first one, dot it, dot the second one. Totally ignore the crossing of the F. Remember, the tail does that for us. Okay, ocean. Capital O, start at 2, curve all the way around, and give that little curly on the top. Now, the C can start right at 2. Remember, it was one of our clock letters. Start at 2, upswing into the E, upswing curve over, make an A, upswing bump, make an N, and there you have it. Put in your question mark. Very good. Look at yours and you judge it by several things. 1, did I keep my letters touching the baseline? Good. Do my tails go below the baseline? Good. Did I dot my I's and cross my T's? Yes. Did I really work hard to keep them all in the lower half, those lowercase ones, and fill that lower half of the line? Yes. And here's another one. Are most of my letters slanting, flowing the same direction? And yes, they are. I have a few, like here's one that kind of slants a little bit. And this, my T slanted a little bit and my H didn't, but that is not a problem, okay? You just don't want them going real crazy like this, like they're going 2 different ways. Now, the question is, did I go to the Pacific Ocean? And the answer is, we're not going to say the word yes, we're simply going to write it in a sentence. I went to the Pacific Ocean. So I'm going to write it with you. I, capital I, went, and we already wrote that word, so you know it's W-E-N-T. I went. You know how to spell to. You know how to spell the or the. And Pacific Ocean is right up there, so you can just copy it. Now, if you need more time, pause the video to finish your printing. I'm going to write in cursive right on top of this, and I want you to watch me because I'm going to give you some tips along the way, and then I want you to pick it up, pause the video, be looking at my model, and then you write your own. Okay, so I want you to watch and listen. So I have a capital I. I'm going to start down and I'm going to curve it up, and then I reach out and come back. And then went, remember to start off. And the dip keeps my E high when it starts, and then I bump into the N. Be sure to cross. And again, dip, be sure to cross. And again, make my H. Yes, and be sure to cross. Start with a capital, keep it big, tall. And then I'm going to write Pacific. Be sure to keep my tail down below the baseline. And now I'm going to come back and dot my two I's. Ocean starts tall at 2. Make my little curly. And then write the C-E-A, bump into the N, and put my period. There you are. Now you may pause the video so that you have this in front of you for a little while, because with this we're going to end our instruction. So pause your video if you need to.